Hi,
Nicci!
I am here. I am here.
What's going on, Nicci?
You know what? Listen, I'm going to be so honest with your audience. I'm going to be so honest with you. I was working in my yard. This is going to be one of the realest conversations ever. I got so consumed with planting flowers in my yard. I was like, what time is it? Oh my God, I have an interview with Katie Kelly. So you guys are getting the raw, the real hair toe up from the flow up, but we're going to keep it all the way real. I was like, oh, I got to get a camera. So here we are.
All good. Welcome, and thank you for joining me too. What were you planting out there?
I'm sorry?
What were you planting?
Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you asked. So I was hard-headed. My sister told me there were some weeds kind of taking over my shrubs. She's like, you better get them weeds out your shrubs. You better get them weeds out your... I'm like, girl, it'll be fine. They're growing in the same style as the shrubs. Took completely over. So I planted some crepe myrtles and a bunch of other shrubs.
Yeah.
Had to get
love crepe myrtle. Those things are beautiful. When they start to grow, I actually put some in my front yard. I got some in the back around my deck. And those things, I planted the tree ones. Did you plant the trees?
Yeah, well, I think they're going to grow. They said to 10 to 12 feet.
Yeah.
So that's a tree or just a large bush. But they're called, what do they call them? Dark something or whatever. I'm learning my plants. My sister is the green thumb. And my mom working in the yard all the time, but the planting thing, I just made myself too busy for it.
Yeah. Is it really therapeutic? It's kind of therapeutic, isn't it?
Oh my God. I have my grandson out there, which is why the process took forever, because he wanted to shovel and he wanted to, So yeah, I planted gardenias and roses at the top of the spring, and they're starting to bloom. So he's like, oh, they're blooming. I'm like, yeah. So I want him to know how to garden. I still want him to be a manly man. But
right. I mean, landscapers make a lot of money. They charge a lot of money for landscape.
That part right there. Yes, right. Indeed.
So he could be manly. He get a little stank on him doing that yard work.
He does. I threw a couple worms on him. I told him Granny used to make us put him on the fish hook. So yeah, I was born in the country, so we did it all. We did it.
You was in Detroit.
Oh, Belleville, Michigan. I'm from Detroit, but my mom and my aunts are from Sumter, Belleville, Michigan. So
okay.
But my grandparents owned a farm, some acres. I gardened with my grandmother, vegetables and flowers, and shucked corn.
Yeah.
Snacks on the front porch.
Come on now. My grandmother was from Kinston, North Carolina. We did all that. She had a garden. She raised pigs and all of that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you know about them shelling peas.
So look, did they, like, after y'all have your family dinners, you put all the pig slop in like a fork?
Yes, sir, in that bucket. You put it in the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And go out there.
And she come home from work and take that bucket and throw it in the trunk and drive out to the pig pen and feed them.
Yep. Absolutely. That's it. Good old day. Good old day.
I didn't know you knew nothing about that coming out of Detroit, girl.
Oh, no, for real. We rode horses. I ain't going to say some of the other things. I'm just going to say my grandpa had a rifle rack above the bed. So he raised country daughters, city/country children. Right.
You got the best of both worlds. You know, that's how I grew up. So you get used to stuff. And then where my father was from, ain't nobody had no bathroom.
Oh, yeah, we heard them stories, too. Especially the ones, my mom, we had to put cardboard in our shoes when the soles ran out.
My father-in-law tell that story all the time.
We got
cardboard in the shoes.
You better be glad we in this resale shop getting you some good used shoes that ain't no. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Make you a well-rounded person, man. You grew up into a fine adult.
Oh, well, thank you, and you too, sir. And thank you so much for having me. I'm like, how could I forget and be so raggedy? Y'all gonna have to forgive me, but I keep it.
You know, we all keeping it real. My brother DeMarc just came in. We big Brownstone fans from back in the day.
Oh, thank you.
Ain't nothing like 90s R&B. You know, there ain't no harmony like that no more. What you think happened to groups?
Artist development. To be totally honest with you, I think artist development, and just, we had a surge of male groups coming. I'm not trying to turn this into the I'm sorry, y'all, 1 second. Braylon, Nana's on the interview. You have to wait, okay? Go ask Pa. I'm sorry, y'all. I told y'all this was gonna be real.
It's real. Come on.
Downstairs and ask Pa. Tell him Nana's on an interview. See, he don't get it. He just like, what? Who's gonna make my spaghetti? I've been working in the yard. I need my spaghetti.
That is so funny that you now. You ain't even 50 yet. You now.
I'll be 50 and I am. But so I would say artist development, and just like really, because you know it was in Vogue, SWV, Brownstone, then you had to change whatever. And I don't know. I think the industry just kind of it came in waves. The guy never left, but girl groups sort of just fizzled out. And I don't know if it's because of the old stereotype that women can't get along, but I done seen guy groups bucking.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They broke up too. It was just drama in the groups, you know. You don't even really see you don't see many male groups anymore either, though.
The whole group dynamic is kind of just gone because, again, you know, I'm not going to turn this into a civil rights issue, but I'm saying you have to use the artists who know what music is, who had those experiences to further develop, you know, young artists. You know what I mean? Like there should be someone at a label saying exactly what you're saying. Like, let's get some harmonies, let's get some groups, let's go through some artist development, you know, and there's just not that person there that's doing it. I think hip hop and sort of the easy, quick sort of 1.5 minute songs is the new thing. And it's whether or not it's a good thing or a mediocre thing. Yeah,
but I mean, you look at how much the industry changed, because you know we was coming up through the '90s listening to R&B music. You ain't had no internet. The internet didn't really kind of take off to the mid '90s, so you know you always had that machine behind you pushing the artists. Now everybody doing their own thing, how they want.
You know, I think it's a double-edged sword. I think it's a good thing. Because it puts the ownership and the opportunity in the hands of the artist. Something, well, on some levels, depending on, I mean, you know, it depends, because we know some deals out there where that's the case. However, I think it's good because it definitely gets the content directly to the people. It's like a direct to consumer thing. But I think where it falls astray is in we lost a lot of people, Cayman. I mean, we lost Whitney Houston, we lost Michael Jackson, we lost so many talented, amazing artists that were true examples of what it means to be developed as an artist and what real talent is. So the more we saw the evolution of those artists, the more we would create artists who would sort of follow in those footsteps, right? Like we listened to Shaka, we listened to it was a whole award shows. They don't know, but award shows were a whole nother thing back in the day.
Right.
Like you had a chance to really be exposed to greatness. And I think artists now who can just kind of sit in their rooms and kind of talk about what's going on in the world based on what they see through a computer and just put it out there and the beat is there. I think they miss the development part. I think they miss seeing what great artists looks like in our community because we have some, they don't promote them. And the ones that were megastars, unfortunately, a lot of them are gone.
They gone. We lost a lot of icons over the past few years.
Right.
I mean, all the icons that really meant something. You got Prince, Whitney, Michael, all of them gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you don't get a chance to see that development. You know, it's like that teaches you as an artist because you're hearing something that isn't just, you know, we got Beyonce, but a lot of people try to emulate Beyonce's sound.
Yeah.
Or now that you got, you know, her or SZA, you know what I'm saying? You got really dope artists, but they're going to emulate a sound that is a pretty consistent sound in music. Like there are not a lot of new voices and a lot of new talent,
right.
In my opinion, being broken to help develop artists musically. What we hear sonically.
Yeah, you think it's because we older that everybody sounds alike to us? Because, you know, your tolerance level get low at some point.
I think it's because there is no artist development. People know what good music is because check it out. My grandson is a Michael Jackson fan. My grandson likes Biggie. What? My grandson is like play the big guy. Like he knows what 90s music, great music. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a 90s artist, but it's like when we hear Earth, Wind and Fire or when we hear Frankie Beverly Days, we'll hear it and a 16-year-old will hear it and they'll get those same vibrations. Music is a vibration.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It does not age. It does not go away.
So, Nicci, how old is your grandson?
He is 5 going on 73.
So you know we started to pick up habits from what we grow up around, though, because I asked that question on the show the other day about songs that you know that wasn't necessarily from your era, but you knew them because your parents played them.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So you know, eventually he gonna understand that Nana used to sing in one of the greatest R&B female groups of the '90s, Brownstone.
He is so not here for it. Like, we were in the car one day and the song came on, and usually I have something that I'm working on. When my music comes on, I turn it off because I feel, I don't know. I listen with a critical ear, right? This time I said,
yeah, of course.
I'm like, this is Nana. He's like, I know, Nana. And I was like, oh, hey. He was like, Mommy told me every time the song comes on, Mommy says, this is Nana. I said, okay, well, I'll put on something else. It's, you know, and he loves, what is it, Bigfoot, little Bigfoot or something, some really cool kind of inspirational song, actually. That is his favorite. He's like, if it's like the Son of Bigfoot theme song, I don't want it.
Hey, Nicci, what made Brownstone different than any other female group that was out during the same time?
I think that we were a little fearless, right? I think that we were, Maxie being from South America, right? Mimi from Los Angeles, you know, more affluent background. Me being from Detroit, born of a Motown quality control songwriter and a jazz singer. I think we all knew that we had something really awesome to offer to music. And while we did not look, because that was a big issue for me growing up, when you're 23 years old, you know, we were 23, right? So I had 30s. Yeah, we were kids. I had a lot of insecurities, and those were difficult for me to get through. But I think us being brave enough I was like, you know, I'm gonna cut all my hair off. I'm gonna sing my face off. We're gonna harmonize our faces off. God gave us the gift of music, and that is gonna carry us. And we beat the pavement and tried as hard as we could to get a deal. And one day we ended up getting stranded in the desert. I'm gonna give y'all the short version. Got stranded in the desert in real life because someone asked Maxie before we had our deal to be in a video. Like, oh, you look like Naomi Campbell. Can you do this? So I'm like, Maxie, I'll go. I'm gonna kind of be like your manager. I'll network with him because they had relationships, right? Detroit hustle, Lord Jesus. At 22. So we go, one of the vans breaks down. I stayed behind with the guy. The guy ended up leaving me because he got in the El Camino.
Oh my gosh.
And I wasn't going to do it. I got stranded.
Not the El Camino.
El Camino in the middle. I'm like, we 2.5 hours away from LA. What are you talking about? And cell phones, this is very early 90s.
Right. This is brick phone.
So God put a police station in front of me after I walked for about 10 minutes, and then Mimi came and picked me up the next day. They were like, we want to make this up to you. We want to introduce you to some publishers. So they took us we met at Emerald Forest. We met this guy, Barry Kolsky. Barry listened to some music that I had written, some songs we had put together. He was like, not really what we're looking for. He was showing us out the door. We sang them live. Let's sing them for you. No, not really what we're looking for, right? On God, we walking out the door. 2 white women sitting in the chair downstairs. What was that we were hearing upstairs? I was like, oh, some songs we wrote here. Want to hear them? Let's sing them. We sang the songs. She said, come back tomorrow. She took us to Jerry Greenberg. We had no idea what we were going to see. We sang for Jerry. Jerry was like, oh my God, you're incredible. He said, you're incredible. And the rest is history. 2 weeks later, we went and sang in a conference room. Didn't know Michael, all his people and stuff was there. The lights was real bright in our faces. Everybody's at the back of the room. Maxie gets a call, screaming, woke me up one morning, said, we got the record deal, and it's with Michael Jackson. So getting stranded in the desert, having prepared for the opportunity,
right,
and not giving up after someone told us, nope, not what we're looking for. His boss took us to get a deal with Michael Jackson.
Wow. Ain't that crazy?
That's the short side of it. I'm putting the rest in the book. You
always tell the short story. Even when we talked last summer during the 25th anniversary, it was a short story. I'm gonna give y'all the short version. Give y'all the short version. So you gonna put it in a book? You said? Yes.
It is. It's about ready to go. I'm reading it sort of over and over again, just to make sure it is what it is, because there's so many. I've done a lot in 26 years in the industry.
Yeah.
So, you know, the ebb, the flow, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah, you know what? I remember that episode of Video Soul when y'all talked to my boy Donnie Simpson. and we was kind of hurt that the group was going to be falling apart, but that wasn't a truth that was told on that show. I'm understanding. So what really happened to the group?
That was the industry truth. And it was really kind of sort of the truth. Okay, so the truth is Monica did suffer from bronchitis. That was not a lie. Okay. She in fact suffered from bronchitis. And it made the stress of touring, especially she had fallen in love, you know what I mean? And I don't think that she was really passionate about getting her education. Her father was the vice chancellor at UCLA. So it just she wasn't as passionate about the group and as a result, it was showing itself in different ways. Contrary to popular belief, I did not put Monica out of the group. Monica made the decision that she didn't want to be there. I remember like it was yesterday. I said, Mimi, you know, she was just, and Maxie and I both were like, we don't think that she's really passionate about it. So we asked her, we said, why don't you think about it? Is this something that you really want to do? And she called back and she was like, I've thought about it and I've decided that, you know, this is too much between this and what I'm going through with my bronchitis. I need to leave. And Keena, who was my girl from Detroit, who sang her face off, I actually had her come to LA to try to pursue her own solo career. Right? I took her to LA like, hey, listen, LA's the place to be. And I was like, well, Keena. Max was like, yeah, she's great. And that's how that went.
Oh, wow.
She was right there. You know, God working out like he always has.
And that's the short version.
Yes.
The whole version will be in the book.
I mean, you know, there's little details here and there. But I mean, it was a really great opportunity. Shout out to BET for allowing us to do that because, you know, I feel like even though we stretched it a little bit, and it wasn't just, now listen, I wanted to just tell the truth, but you know, we had publicists and record companies and folks who like a better thing, right? So I'm gonna tell the truth in the book.
Right. I mean, you always told the truth. That's why everybody blames you for everything, just because you're outspoken and very vocal.
I know.
So R&B divas, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Reality shows. You see a lot of people start to promote music now through reality shows. Did it work for you? And why wouldn't you do it again?
It worked for me. I didn't think that it worked for me. You asked me this question probably even a year ago, I would say didn't work for me. Worst experience of my life, period, right? But as we evolve, right, we have the right to have our opinions on certain other things evolve. And my opinion about R&B Divas has certainly evolved. I'm disappointed that this franchise did not do what I created it to do, what Faith came on board as an executive producer partner for it to do, which is go season after season and really, you know, have the opportunity for us to promote tours and our friendships and be honest and real. But when it started to become manufactured, when the bar started to become what was happening on Love and Hip Hop, what was happening on The Housewives, it was just time for me to go. And it wasn't just time for me to go from a place of ego. I remember specifically, and I may have said this once before, but I don't say it often. Before we got our show picked up, I remember having a conversation with God, like real life, like, Lord, we are struggling. My husband and I put everything we have into this sizzle reel. Like we flew people out to shoot sizzle reels from other states, put people up. We put every resource we had into making this series happen. I was like, God, I promise you, if it turns bad, I will walk away from it. If it starts to destroy people's relationships and friendships, I will walk away from it. Before we even got picked up by TV One. So when that started to happen, it was time for me to go. Me leaving taught me the importance of understanding the value of ownership.
Yeah.
Ownership of our narratives, ownership of our stories, you know, and had I not left, I would have just been another cast member who people hated every week because I'm very vocal and honest and I give you a lot of stuff to cut and switch and move and turn around and change.
Right.
Do that, y'all. I know a lot of people don't, but trust me, by now you've heard enough people talk about it. And I wouldn't have learned the value of that. So yes, it helped me in a different way. Maybe not so much in music, but definitely in involvement as a woman, as a businesswoman, and an owner of content, for sure.
So let me ask you this. In your honest opinion, when folks look at reality shows, why are we drawn into so much drama instead of like positivity and really listening to the music for its value? What is it about the drama that we like as human beings? What do you think?
I think drama is it goes back to soap operas that our grandmas, while we were talking about grandma. You know what I'm saying? That our grandmothers and our aunties watched. We are, and you know, it goes back to like the fight in the schoolyard. I was never the person that did it, fought or watched it. Run, and there's a certain group of people who watch it, right?
Right.
Because we. Oh no, sorry, my daughter called me. But I say that to say we're attracted to the drama. The issue with most reality TV is that they're not allowing women of color or even Black men to help them to define what will work, that can be honest and truthful and give you drama and give you entertainment, but also give you three-dimensional representations of who we are. Yeah, we suck our teeth, our necks, throw shade, and cuss somebody out like nobody's business. But there's another side to that. There's a reason that happened. Yeah. And then there's the, oh, I regret that happening, and I wish I could take that back. Like right now, this whole read that's going along all over the place that everybody loves to show of me and Selena and her going off. She has said numerous times, I feel bad about that. Looking back at that, you know, I feel terrible, right? I feel like that's something I shouldn't have done, and I regret it. Now, what's dope is you see the read and you're entertained by that, but then why can't you see the part? Why is it not equally as important to know that she regrets it, or that I regret something that I did? That's you know, four-dimensional, you know.
Right.
And we know that they don't.
Yeah.
Control it.
So when you shoot stuff, has there ever been a time where you sit back and look at the final edit of it like, I ain't say that, I ain't do that, just the way that it happened?
Absolutely.
And then
well, not when I
got to
shoot
defend
it,
yourself.
Like R&B divas, it happened a lot.
Really?
Oh yeah, everybody will tell you that it happened a lot. For example, I'm just gonna give you one scene in particular. There was a scene where we were sitting around in a circle, and there was footage of me saying, we're not gonna have this drinking, you know, why does it have to be liquor every time we come in here? Kiki asked if we would not do it. She had just had her baby. She was like, you guys, I don't want to do all this drinking, let's just have a sober conversation, whatever. These people edited the footage to make it seem like I was talking to the ladies when I was talking from the perspective of an executive producer to my other EPs on the other side of the camera before we even started rolling.
God.
Rolling. And I was like, nope, you guys, we're not doing this liquor. We're not doing this alcohol. No, we're not going to do that. Kiki's already said she doesn't want to do it. And the ladies were laughing at me saying, somebody said she nipped that in the bud quick. And they were laughing at that. So the way they cut it was me being bossy and controlling, telling the ladies they can't drink, and them laughing like, what? Who's she talking to? You know, and then they bump the sound up. So those are the types of things that happen often. Or something that you say about, ooh, I'm so scared of that bear. If I see a bear, I'm gonna have to kill it before it kill me. The bear will suddenly become Selena.
So was the cameras running sometime when you didn't know they were running?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Wow.
Or like you get invited to someone's house for dinner. They don't tell you where you're going. They're like, just meet at this place. You wait at that place for 3-4 hours. And then you go to, and then they say, okay, go to the person's house, because they hold you if another part of the scene isn't finished. They said, go to somebody's house. You get to the house and people are leaving. The person is like, how dare you come here 5 hours late?
Oh.
You know, yeah.
Oh, that's dirty. That's dirty. So you know, like with people when they walked away from watching you, did you ever have any kind of confrontations in real life because of what people saw on the show?
Oh my God, and I still do to this day.
Are you serious?
I have lost opportunity. I was literally the day before Lane Bryant, I did a plus size clothing line. And this is part of the reason why I stopped doing the plus size clothing line, which I probably shouldn't have given up on. But I had a call with I didn't say Lane Bryant. I didn't say that. I had a call with a very successful plus size retailer. I did not say right.
Right.
Or the people who own Lane Bryant or whatever. So I had a call with them after they saw my fashion show. The night before the call, 2 days before the call, a Radar Online article came out and said, Nicci Gilbert is terror to work with. She's going to be fired. Producers can't. The article's still out there now. When I had that call, they were like, we love your clothing line. We think everything is great. We think it's amazing, but we're going to wait about a year and kind of revisit this because whatever. So when that happened, I was completely crushed. Like, I was like, oh my God, these people. And every week there was this, Nicci's horrible. She's terrible. She's done this. You know, she's preventing Selena from doing a workout DVD. She's doing it. And I was fighting so hard for the systemic racism that was happening in that situation. And I'm just going to call it like I've called it in my court records and online. Pitting us against each other, making us feel like the only way we can feed our children is to be combative and disrespectful to one another. You know, that part of it right there, that sisterhood, there are women in this group that still don't talk, still are no longer friends, have been friends for 15, 20 years,
Wow.
and can't stand each other because of the kind of because if you think about it, Kelly Price became the Nicci Gilbert, and then this one became that. So from the perspective of me looking at it like I created something that ultimately went on to really negatively impact careers, we put a tour together. The tour did not work because people were like, we would never go see Nicci's tour because we don't like Kelly. We don't like, it was terrible. That part was terrible. But what we learned from it, which is why I understand the concept of protesters. Sometimes you have to just end something. You know, you have to just walk away, let it burn down, let it be what it is. And I'm not suggesting or recommending that to anybody because I don't believe in violence at all. But
Right.
I walked away from the franchise and had to just let it, you know, go in order to stop destroying our careers and our families and our relationships. And that part is...
I knew it was crazy, but I didn't know it was that crazy.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And I usually kind of tread it kind of lightly on this because you sign all these NDAs and people sue you and take you to court. But with everything that's going on in the world right now, I just cannot allow that kind of information and knowledge that I feel will help the next person who may be considering it. Like, I don't think anybody should do. I was so pleased to see Eva Marcel walked away from the Housewives. She was like, I don't know why, but it sounded as if she was like, I want to do other things to help our culture move forward. And if we can't start having better control over our narratives, if they don't start allowing women of color to be a bigger part of the images that women of color are making billions of dollars on TV doing, then we should walk away.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And plus, you know, when you think about the backstory, like you told, we don't let a lot of stuff go either. I mean, you think about how long George Jefferson, his name ain't even George Jefferson. He played on other shows. We were still calling him George. So that just goes to show you the impact that a character can have on your life. Like he wasn't Sherman Hemsley no more. He was Deacon Fry on Amen. We were still calling him George. Right,
exactly. Look at the impact that the Cosby Show in a Different World had as it relates to, like, college, black college, black. You know what I'm saying? Media dictates a lot in our community, so we just need to have a more fair share of our ability to control our period.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So you should work on something new.
I am. Always.
Right, and put that clothing line back together too, girl. Don't let them steal your joy.
I'm not. Listen. Another thing about Detroit folks, we knock us down. The setback is the setup for the comeback.
Come on now.
Period.
I refuse. Don't let nobody steal my joy. Steal my joy.
Woo! Right. Right.
Hey, Nicci, I like to share. So folks who are in the room with us tonight, we all family. If you got questions for Nicci Gilbert, please put them in the question box. And she's open. She's open and honest.
Yes.
Very forthright. She may give you the short version, but she will talk to you.
I look crazy, y'all. I was working in the yard. If you're just joining us, I was working in the yard like, oh, God, I got an interview with Cayman.
That's right. I thought I was going to have to come ring your doorbell. I said, where's Nicci?
Real letter. Oh, what inspired you to write 5 Miles to Empty? Oh, that's a
song right there. 5 Miles to Empty.
So what inspired me to write 5 Miles to Empty in real life was I went to the studio. Somebody must know this story, yo. I went to the studio. My boyfriend at the time was a producer. We gonna call him Big Yam. That was his producer name. No, you look at the thing, you see his name is Gerald Bayergel. He was Haitian. So Gerald and I dated for a while, went to the studio. Chick was in the studio. And the way we would write is he would send me tracks and then we would write and vibe. So we were going to be vibing to the tracks, got in the car, put the track on. Maxie was like, I looked at the gas. That's when the Ford Explorers told you how many miles you had to go before you run out of gas. I was crying. I was like, Maxie, she's here. We about to run out of gas. We got 5 miles. She was like, Nicci, don't worry. Just write this song. We're going to finish this album. And we literally started the hook for 5 Miles to Empty in the car, coming back from being heartbroken. And looking down, we had 5 miles literally before we ran out of gas.
Isn't that crazy?
That's gotta get.
It's always so crazy to hear the backstory of how songs came together.
Yeah.
Just like I was talking to Gerald one day, and this is before he started, Gerald Levert, before he started getting a lot of life experience. And he said, man, you know where Pop 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 came from? He said, man, I was in the house. He said they had like a shotgun house, so the boys was in the back of the house. His mother was up front in the kitchen popping popcorn. And he said he was like, pop, 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 goes my mind. And that's how the song came together.
Pop, 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 pop. Come on, Gerald.
I miss that dude. That is crazy.
Me too. Oh my God, Gerald and Sean, rest in peace. Oh,
yeah, man.
Yeah, see, we've lost that. But back to what we were talking about earlier, okay? That Gerald Levert voice, that Sean Levert, like those voices.
Yeah.
They're not on the radio, so how you practice? How you gonna tap into your version of Gerald Levert?
Yeah. You think about it, there's no strong voices like that left, really. You got Johnny Gill.
Right.
When we had Christopher Williams, who had that voice like that. And who else? Who else got a power voice?
You know what I'm saying? Like, thank goodness for Uncle. But yeah, it's Naheem, maybe. But it's, again, it goes back to like needing the development, even once you're successful, like help get artists through that. It used to be a time where you would do a hit album, and if that second album didn't work, it was a wrap.
Yeah, you're right.
Why? Country artists don't do that. Country artists put out a record, be 57 right now, putting out music in the, in Europe.
Oh my gosh, man! You know what's crazy, Nicci? I was talking to Sean Stockman last week, and we were talking about the country songs and how big they become. And another conversation I had with Gerald, he was supposed to sing "I Swear" for All for One. He said, "I'm not singing no country song." He turned it down, and look how big that song became.
I Will Always Love You was a Dolly Parton song.
Right. Come on. Right.
A House Is Not a Home. Who was that? I'm sorry, not Karen Carpenter. Who was the white lady who did that song? I can't think of her name, but it was a white woman that did it before Luther did it.
A House Is Not a Home.
Mm-hmm.
A House Is Not a Home. See who did that. The original version of it. Yeah, because Gerald did I Give Anything. That was a country song.
And don't you remember you told me you love me, baby?
Yeah.
Come on.
He did the original one. Luther did the remake. See, Luther was owning songs, though. He made them his own. You forgot. Oh, Bill Black, Carole King.
Carole King.
Yeah, DJ Bill Black. That's my man. He's at Mix 92.3 at Detroit. Yeah.
But Luther put that magic on it.
Oh
my God, look, there we go with another one. Luther.
Right.
Hey, Luther. We have lost, like, wow.
Luther stole everybody's songs and made them his own.
Yes.
I was just talking about Luther, and that's another thing, Nicci. Like, people don't believe in your art. And you think about that Never Too Much album in '84. He's putting that album together because the executives ain't believe in it. And look what Luther became.
I can't fool myself. What? How do you hear that? But again, goes back to if you want, and that's the thing, it's a win-win for everybody. We're not saying let artists and former artists and retired artists have a say in what happens in music today at the record level for no reason. We're saying it because if you do that, then you will continue to get great product. We will all continue to make money. You will continue to have records that are going to go on for 25 years like Brownstone and Luther and everybody.
That's right. Put Brownstone in there. Shout out to Gordon Chambers.
Thing was a look. I'm sorry.
Man, you know, when I was talking to Gordon one day, and I said, "That's really pretty, Gordon." He was like, "Oh my God, you listened to the album?" I said, "Yes, sir. That from the bottom up." Man, that was my joint. That's really pretty, Gordon. Let's sing that song that we wrote those lyrics to.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there it is, right here. Speaking of which, the song "Half of You."
Half of You.
Sounds like a direct message from someone, was it?
No, you know what? No, yeah, maybe. So listen, I ain't gonna keep putting all my personal relationship in the street. But Gordon and I have been working on that and vibing. And let me tell y'all a little cute little anecdote about Half of You. That is a one-take record. We were sitting around, we were in the studio, Gordon playing around at the piano. We're kind of writing it and vibing with it to kind of decide whether we're gonna put it on a record. And we just sang it all the way through. It wasn't no punches. There was no like, okay, sing that again. We just sat at the piano and we sang that song from top to bottom.
So it really happened just like it is on the album.
That wasn't acting. That was, we were in.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's really pretty.
Half of you. You got your note? Okay, you got your note. Gordon, you got your, okay, let's go. And that y'all better sing. All of that was just what music was then.
Oh man,
it was 100%.
Well, in the Mark, we used to wear that thing out. Play that again. Play that again. Hey, bro, did we have a CD or did we have a cassette tape? I can't remember. I think we might have had the CD and the cassette tape.
And the cassette. I know that's right. Oh yeah. When we first started recording, there was something for you youngins who are listening called 2-inch tape. 2-inch reels. So we had to really be like, now they can just push a button, Control Alt Delete, look at it and it'll go away. You know what I'm saying? Or look at it, change the key. But no, in the 90s, we had to literally like, okay, now we know we don't have to cut and splice this together to try.
Yeah, man, come on, to cut and splice, you had to know what you was doing too. You cut that thing in the wrong place and tape it wrong, it ain't gonna sound right. It's
gonna be off. And them two big old pieces of tape they put on the machine. My dad still has one in storage. Jesus.
Tell them the Smithsonian looking for them.
I know, right?
You can put that in the music section at the Black Museum. Oh, here's a good question right here from DJ Bill Black. Was there a song that Brownstone passed on that was a hit for somebody else? That's a good question.
Was there a song that Brownstone passed on that was a hit for somebody?
No.
No, because we wrote a lot of our own stuff. So, again, it goes back to, there were songs that we didn't release, like that I'm Not Her record. I'm not her. She ain't. I just posted it. It's so dope. That record has been a single. But no, we wrote most of our records. We wrote probably 80-90% of the music we sang.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's that talent right there, boy. You right in house. Giselle says, are reality shows still paying Black people really low?
Absolutely. Based on, there I go talking outside of my neck. I don't know what's in people's account. Some of them housewives got a lot of bread, so let me not say that. But I think as it relates to what you might think somebody might be getting, if you're not an executive producer, if you're not getting a percentage of the advertising dollars, and I ain't gonna call off into that because I don't like calling me, but yeah, for what you compromise and sacrifice, you ain't getting Mayweather money to fight on reality TV. You get liquor.
That's a good analysis right there. You ain't getting Mayweather money for the fight.
Club, if that's what you do.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Omega Dean, what advice would you give to an upcoming female group or a solo artist?
Oh my goodness. What we've been talking about this whole time is just
artist really development.
Time to develop, to develop yourself as an artist. Really work, do the work. If you're in Atlanta, there are a ton of really great places that you can go to. My manager, Marvelous Entertainment, Loretta and Marvin McIntyre are incredible. We did Essence last year. Saw Cayman at Essence. Brownstone was always known as a group that would just sing. We just sit up there and just blow. But we went into artist development before we went to Essence. We put on a show. We rehearsed. And it happened right after my mom's death. My mom died on June 3rd. Essence was July 8th.
Oh, man.
Around the time, yeah, which was my birthday weekend too, which was terrible. But because we had done artist development in the past, when we came back to it, it's like riding a bike. So put the work from an old lady like me and you have to go back to it. It'll be easier.
That's right, Nana. Tell them, Nana. Big boy pride. How much physical or one-on-one interaction did you have with MJ?
Not a lot. Not a lot at all. He was not the homie that you pick up the phone and be like, hey, Mom. No, never that. We were in the room with him. We did go to the house over in Encino for the holiday. And, you know, we had a couple of run-ins with him, a moment that he shared with me that will stay with me forever. I was like, oh, thank you for signing us. And, you know, I'm just nervous. I'm scared. He's like, don't be nervous. I signed you because you're great.
Wow.
What did I say about me? I was like, okay, ding, 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 I'm cool. So that, so when Michael Jackson whispers to you, you know, I signed you because you were great. That's all you need to hear.
Wow.
Can't nobody tell me nothing because Michael done already told me everything I need to know about my career.
So look, the first time that you meet Michael Jackson, where are you? And what happened? What do you have on? Explain set the scenario.
There's a photo actually. The first time that we actually met him was Michael Jackson, Lisa Marie Presley. I think it was Dave, one of the executives from Sony, Jerry Greenberg, Mimi, and Maxie and myself. And that was the time that I said that to him. That was the time that question came up. It was at one of those, like, remember they used to have Jack the Rappers or big conference things, but it was an important one because executives were there. And we were doing a showcase performance and he was there to support. And then another time was in Japan and Europe. I'm sorry, in Japan. I said Japan and Europe, but Japan. We did another big like Sony event with him. So each time I was very shy because being in the same space as Michael Jackson, especially as an artist. I remember when I was like 12, I lied to my friends in the neighborhood and told them Michael Jackson was my cousin because I went to the drugstore like just a big dummy. Like I just wanted the music. Like it was just so stupid. They had these pictures that look like Polaroids. Remember those pictures back in the day? If you're old enough, you'll remember. You can get them from the store. And it looked like a Polaroid picture of an artist, right? So I lied and said he gave me this picture. And my friends were like, they got those up at the drugstore. My friends got those too. But I was speaking it to the Lord. So.
And then years later, you end up meeting him. Did you still say he was your cousin?
You know,
I told you, girl. I told you he was my cousin.
Even better, he's my boss. He was my guardian angel. He was the person that God put into my life to change my life forever. Which is why I can't cheat young artists. You know, and everything I say is not right. Everything I say is not what it is. But it's from my experience. So I just want people to take what they need, throw away the rest. Because God put me in the presence of the most incredible. There's yet to be anyone greater than Michael Jackson in entertainment. No matter what, all that other stuff, I don't know nothing about that. I wasn't there. I don't know what it is. His contribution to music specifically is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It just gets no better than that. So it makes
anybody else on MJJ records besides Brownstone?
Quo.
I forgot all about Quo.
Quo. They had the song. We did a song together called Quo Funk. It was not Chinese. Yeah. Not Chinese, Jesus. He's a black guy who had like very Asian features. And then Tatiana Ali. And
she was on MJJ?
Yeah. Tatiana Ali, MJJ, and 3T, his nephews were on MJJ.
Yeah, I remember them being on there. 3T, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Men of Vision was on there? They was on MJJ?
Was Men of Vision on MJJ, I think they were on Epic.
I see Shanita and Mr. Scott said they was on MJJ.
Oh, really?
Sounded like Blackstreet.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm old. I've been seeing July.
Right, I forgot about the interview earlier.
I'm working in the yard all day.
Right. So Big Rose said, how did you get the role on Martin as the robbers of the casino?
I ain't robbed no casino on Martin.
You was Pam's cousin on Martin.
Pam's cousin.
Yeah. I don't know, he got it twisted.
So I auditioned. I had always wanted to be. I wanted to be an actress before I became a singer. So I auditioned for Martin, and I was so nervous. And when I got it, I was hoarse for real, because when I got it, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill this!" And I sang and screamed and hollered and rehearsed for like 5 days. And by the time it was time for me to take, my voice was done. So I wasn't faking the horse stuff. When I was like, "Roo," I had to push through that.
Good Lord. Pam's cousin.
Pam's cousin, Alicia. Isn't that what my name was? Ooh. That was the most fun ever. That was when Martin, y'all, was like the thing you got home to see. That's when TV was good.
Man, come on now. That's when you knew stuff. You knew what time it came on, what channel it was on, and everything. You try to hurry up and do your homework and eat your dinner so you can be in front of TV, put your pajamas on, take your bath. That's
right. Martin in the Living Color. Once again, content created by Black people, where we were able to, but I'm going to have that. That's another thing. Yeah.
Okay. What's next for Brownstone Experience?
Oh, I'm really excited about the future. We were in the middle of doing a bunch of dates, right? We have a new member who is incredible. Her name is Erin Jackson. I've
heard her sing.
Yes.
She is incredible.
Yes. And what's more important than anything is this sisterhood that we've created in this unit. You know, we're moms. Tisha has been with us for the last, 12 years. So Tisha, while Maxie was alive, Tisha was a part of the group. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like we found the piece to the puzzle, right? So as we evolve, we have decided that it's not about trying to capture the Brownstone sound anymore, because the Brownstone sound on the first album was Nicci, Maxie, and Mimi. On the second album, it was Nicci, Maxie, and Keena. And as we move into this new era, it's going to be Nicci, Maxie, and Aaron. And I think that the freshness that Aaron brings, right? Because Aaron and Tisha are 10 years younger than me. The freshness that they bring, and just the energy is going to be fire. And, you know, we're trying to be more sexy. Listen, we're trying to not compete, because we don't have to compete. We're trying to introduce ourselves to an audience of millennials who are into some different stuff. So it's going to be a little different, but still great.
Right. I feel you, girl. Get it in.
Now I'm still going to get on great time. I'm changing keys. I'm reaching for them notes. Even if I don't get them all the time, I'm giving them a good try. I get them most of the time.
You're getting a lot of compliments on them glasses you got on, girl. Somebody want to know where you got them from.
Oh, a place called Z Cool. I get compliments on these glasses all the time. I love them. I can't see without them.
You got a whole lot of them that you switch up?
I switch them up. I do. I mean, these are the ones I wear most of the time, especially when I'm looking real raggedy and I need to cover up like a large part of my face. I go for the bigger frame.
You got a face shield on trying to protect from COVID, huh?
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Lord. That's right. You don't have to compete. Happy birthday to Tupac Shakur. That's right.
What it do?
Happy birthday to Tupac. When I say two, you say pop.
Tupac.
You ever meet Tupac?
Yes. I've met Tupac a few times. I got a Tupac story too. I'm going to keep it real short. My Tupac story is we were on our way to an event. We were in the car and Tupac was like, Nick, I got to tell you, that song, Don't Cry For Me. Man, I listened to that over and over in jail. I listened to that song and it inspired me so much. I'm almost done, honey. I swear, sweetheart. So that was like a big Tupac moment for me. But I actually posted a photo. We got a few Tupac moments. That was my little brother.
Oh, wow. That's cool, man. So Mark want to know, did you ever consider having Michael Jackson sing with Brownstone?
Yeah. I did. Mike, you need to handle that right quick. No. I was really jealous when they did the SWV remix. I was like, for Free Willy, that could have been us. That should have been us.
That's
But
right.
no, he had, as far as I'm concerned, Michael Jackson didn't need to do nothing else but say, "Yep, sign him, make him the first group on my label." He being signed to Michael Jackson meant that when we went to Brussels, Belgium, they almost flipped over our tour bus. When we went to Japan, literally, we had to have security hiding in the airport because there were like hordes of little Japanese girls, like Brownstone, like they knew who he was because of who Michael Jackson was. We were superstars when we got there, and we were bigger superstars when we left, just because of what Michael Jackson did for us. Yes.
Well, Diana Ross did that for the Jackson 5 back in the day.
Indeed. And that's what we have to
do. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Full circle Detroit, baby.
That's right. Motown, so quality control for Motown. My dad has like stems with Michael on them.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So look, speaking of like going to other countries and stuff, do you think people in other countries respect music of American artists more than America does?
How do I say this politically correct?
No, don't worry about being politically correct.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. 100. Yeah. Absolutely. It's like that old saying, like, you can be hugely successful everywhere but at home. Like Gerald and them, we all talked about that. Like, you know what I mean? Even though we get love from Detroit, New York, listen. Shout out to New York and LA on that Brownstone joint. Because y'all kept us, everybody listened, but New York, I remember we went to an in-store in New York at the Wiz, and the line was all the way in the Village, like down. It was crazy. So New York always showed up for us. But Europe showed on a whole nother level.
Yeah, they don't watch their artists up and throw them away just because they ain't done nothing in a long time, you know?
Or just because they finna be But our fans are loyal. Let me say this, though. This resurgence of 90s R&B and us being able to tour and us being able to do these, you know, these dates and all that other stuff, that does show that our fans do love us here and support us here. And we're very grateful that who are keeping our families fed and keeping our bills paid.
Amen. And you can get some chicken and plant some plants out front.
Get some chicken and plant some plants.
That's right. You know, I love Brownstone. Brownstone forever, baby.
That's right.
We got 50 seconds. IG counting us down, Nicci. So
IG count us down. I just want to thank you guys. Thank you, Cayman. Thank you, everybody who tuned in, who watched. I love y'all for real in real life. Thank you for making me more than just Nicci from Brownstone. Thank you for making me the woman that I am today, because it took success in Brownstone to become that person. So thank you from my family to yours. I love y'all.
And thank you, Nicci. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's been a lot of fun. We're going to have to do a part 2.
We do, with me looking cute and on time.
Well, have a good night. Tell the family out there hello. And thank you again. And thanks everybody for joining us tonight. We appreciate that. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.